Fox News reports Harley Davidson slams brakes on woke policies after sparking biker and social media outrage. Motorcycle maker says it no longer has DEI functions, vows to focus on retaining our loyal riding community. You love to see it. I revel in your suffering, Harley, but I respect the backtracking. They wanted a culture war. They got it. They got the culture war. Here's the post from Robby Starbuck. He says, another win for our movement. I couldn't do this without all of you. Harley Davidson has just issued this statement where they promise no more DEI functions, no more supplier diversity spend goals. They'll no longer participate in HRC scoring. Sponsorship activities are changing and will focus exclusively on motorcycling, first responders, active military, and veterans. No more woke trainings with socially motivated messaging inside of them. Harley Davidson corporate can be sad all they want, but our movement gets results. If you want to expose the company you work at for woke policies, DM me with evidence or ask for our email address for tips. If you support what we're doing to bring sanity back to corporate America, subscribe to my X page for $5 a month. It helps pay for our research and my team. It's only the beginning. Normal people just want sanity back, and I'm your megaphone. I'll make a video reacting in full later today. Here's the letter from Harley Davidson. They write, for over 120 years, Harley Davidson has brought the joy of motorcycling to riders around the world, no matter who they are, where they come from, or what they believe in. We have a guiding principle. United we ride. It defines how we run our business, treat our people, and underscores our commitment to welcoming all. We are saddened by the negativity on social media over the last few weeks, designed to divide the Harley Davidson community. As a company, we take this issue very seriously, and it is our responsibility to respond with clarity, action, and facts. Earlier this year, we initiated an internal stakeholder review to better align company activities to the needs of both our business and community. Based on our review, we're committed to the following. Full stop. Full stop. Stakeholder is a communist buzz phrase. Stakeholder is a nonsense word. Shareholders represent the people with a financial interest in the company. Stakeholder is a word representing anyone who may be affected by what the company does. So in this letter, they say, diversity, equity, and inclusion. We see it as every leader's role to ensure we have an employee base that reflects our customers and the geographies in which we operate. It is critical to our business that we hire and retain the best talent and that all employees feel welcome. That said, we have not operated a DEI function since April 2024, and we do not have a DEI function today. We do not have hiring quotas, and we no longer have supplier diversity spend goals. Business Employee Research Groups, BERGs. To ensure alignment of our BERGs with business moving forward, we will be providing executive management training to each group to exclusively focus on professional development, networking, and mentoring. Sponsorship and affiliations. We are reviewing all sponsorship and organizations we are affiliated with. Actions stemming from what ongoing review include. All sponsorship activities will now be centrally approved and managed efforts through the company of the Harley Davidson Foundation. As a consumer brand, we will focus exclusively on growing the sport of motorcycling and retaining our loyal riding community. In addition to the support we already provide to first responders, active military members, and veterans, the Harley Davidson Foundation is committed to driving positive change in Milwaukee, such as through the recently unveiled Davidson Park at our Juneau Avenue headquarters. Harley Davidson will not participate in HRC scoring going forward. Woo-hoo-hoo, that one's big, baby. Employee training. The company continually evaluates its training opportunities to ensure they are right for our workforce. Training provided will be related to the needs of the business and be absent of socially motivated content. Only legally required training has ever been mandatory at Harley Davidson. We believe having both a broad employee and customer base is good for business, and that ultimately everybody should experience the joy of riding a Harley Davidson. We remain committed to listening to all members of our community as we continue on our journey together as the most desirable motorcycle brand in the world. Let me tell you what's going on. Harley Davidson, the political hyperpolarization, it's all happening. In a functioning capitalist society with a largely homogenous culture, Harley Davidson would say, who are we missing in terms of our demographics? Well, we've got a lot of middle-aged white guys. We got to get some younger people. We've got to get women, and we've got to get minorities. There are a lot of other factions. You know, the white population is shrinking. The Christian population is shrinking relative to the growth via immigration, et cetera. How do we get those people? So that's what they're thinking now. If our society was culturally homogenized, meaning very little variation, but still variation, they would launch an initiative to say, get women to ride. And no one would care. Bikers would be like, yeah, let's get more women riding. They'd sponsor some black Harley Davidson riders and say, we want to bring Harley Davidson to the black community where we think we underserve the needs and interests of many of these individuals who we know and love the brand. And no one would care. They'd be like, yeah, that's really cool. I mean, motorcycling's for everybody. But see, we are divided to such an extreme degree. DEI policies, it's Marxist, it's race communism, whatever you want to call it. Harley doesn't understand how serious the divide is, how extreme the political divide is. So they say, let's try and get diversity, and we'll pander to these people. And the regular Americans who like Harley revolted and said, no, we don't want to have anything to do with a brand that's going to do this. And Harley took a hit, and they could feel it. Cost-benefit analysis is the only thing that matters. The amount of money they stood to lose on this initiative was greater than the amount they stood to gain, so they abandoned the project. Now, that's crazy. Which means, moving forward, I warn all of you, the culture war doesn't end so simply. My fear is, when you look at the polls, talking about civil war, older generations think it's not possible. Silent generation says absolutely not. Boomers say, no way, but, maybe. Gen X says, yikes, I think it's possible. Millennials say, oh, yeah, we're getting there. And Gen Z says, you mean it hasn't started already? And I'm not being cute. The numbers are actually, they scale the younger the people get. Silent generation, it's like 8%. Then boomers, it's like 20 something, or it's like high teens, maybe 20. Gen X is like 30. Millennials, it's like 47. And Gen Z, it's like 50% or more. The younger you get, the more divided culturally everyone is. Which means Harley Davidson knows that they are firmly on the right. They did the math. Nothing else matters. They may end up losing money, but they'll lose more if they abandon their actual customer base. The divide is so great, it cannot be culturally closed. That's the thing right there. That's the scary point. Harley Davidson, in a normal functioning capitalist society, would say, we can sell to Sturgis, to white Christian conservatives, and we can sell to the far left. Nope. Because when they tried entertaining that, they lost too much. Too much was at risk. I guess I can put it this way. There is a stream and there's a divide. People on one side say, we want this. People on the other side say, we want that. And it's not difficult for a company to bridge the gap and say, you may not want to be a part of what they're doing, but we can serve everybody's interests. The stream has eroded and it's become greater and greater and greater. And now on the right side of this chasm, Harley Davidson says, we can't build a bridge. We tried to build a bridge to the other side, and we were immediately attacked by the people on our side. The cost of resources to make this bridge is too great, and neither side will want to be involved in the company, and we will lose everything. So they say we stay firmly where we are. Now, it's possible. The people on the other side, the left, the woke, run out of resources because they don't know how to farm. And that's communism 101. They don't know how to farm and take care of themselves. So it's possible as they sterilize themselves and abort their own children or sterilize their children that they'll just eventually cease to exist. They desperately try to indoctrinate through schools, but they're losing that fight as well. Look at Loudoun County. Conservatives say often, yeah, but they're recruiting. Yeah, well, in Loudoun County, the wealthiest county in the country, probably the world, nope, it's not working. Parents are getting angry. They're pushing back. And this is a moderate, left-leaning, liberal DC suburb. It's not working. In the long run, wokeness will cease to exist. I mean, we had a story yesterday where a guy says he had HIV and didn't want to tell his partners, his, people he's engaging with relations with, because they wouldn't want to touch you. And it's like one guy look at me like I murdered him. And it's just like, wow. If these are the things they want to exist in their jurisdictions, they're going to die. And it's terrifying. We beg them to stop. San Francisco's fecal problem, it's going to lead to typhus. We've already seen it in California. There was a bubonic plague. I thought black plague emerged briefly. And everyone's like, what? Yeah. That's the world that they've built. I don't know how they sustain what they're doing in the long run. So maybe that chasm grows so great, we eventually just say the people on the other side are foreign to us and don't matter. And the people on the other side can't figure out how to eat. Or they just don't have kids. And eventually you find nothing but the remnants of the culture long forgotten. Harley figured it out. You ain't going to win. Bud Light figured it out only way too late. It's amazing how Bud Light destroyed themselves. Harley Davidson saw it, got the message, and they said, we cannot be Bud Light. And so they changed. I'll wrap it up there. Next segment's coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out. Smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, share the show with your friends. You can follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. For everybody watching live, we'll go to Super Chats, and for everybody else, we will see you all at 6.